I hold the sun behind my Hello, everybody. Do you know what? It's the 1st of December, and this is the People Speaks Out. It's the first day of a new month. How are we all feeling? Just try and tune into that while I just turn off my devices. Because we had a little bit of a last minute tune in to Rachel's account. I'm just going to get it onto full view. Bear with me. Full screen. There we go. So yes, a little bit of shenanigans getting in this morning. So hi, I hope everyone's okay, and we're just going to bring just a few moments silence and just tune in. Where are you at right now? What's going on with you? Come into the present moment. And if you want to be unmuted and to speak on today's People Speak Out, then please go down to your reactions button and put your hand up, and then you'll come to the top of my page. So I'm Sass Bullock, and I'm your host for today. And before you just tune in, I know I just asked you to tune in, I'd just like you to bear in mind that it is 24 days till Christmas. So just by tuning into that, just see how you feel when you close your eyes at the thought of Christmas coming up. Does it fill you with a sense of excitement and joy, or a sense of dread, or like, oh no, not again? How do you feel about it? And maybe you can tell me how you're feeling at that thought. And then I'll bring you back in. So just take some nice deep breaths through the nose and just settle any waves on the surface of your consciousness, and just bring yourself back into your authentic self, your calm, connected, and just see what wants to arise today in this space of the People Speaks Out. Lovely, thank you. It's always good to know where the pendulum is swinging. Is it to the full left, to the full right, or is it nicely balanced in the centre? So it's been 2 weeks since we last spoke, and Rachel was hosting it. So what's been going on in your lives since the last 2 weeks? There's been an awful lot of calamity going on around us. For myself personally, I've been having a real challenge just walking right now. I fell down the stairs about a few months ago, and it seems as if this old injury has arisen, and it's all centered. It could be the trauma of all my lives, because it feels like that is all centered in my little toe on my right foot, and it's gone huge, and it's the most painful thing I've ever experienced. And I have to, I'm sure if any of you have animals and dogs, you can't not just walk them. So it's been quite an interesting experience to experience levels on a scale of pain of about up to a 10. And even though I'm looking cool and very demure right now, if you'd see me walking around the block with a walking stick, it's quite a difficult thing, because I'm always on the go, always wanting to move forward, always doing, and I'm being forced to sort of sit and just contemplate not only my navel but my little toe. So is there anything going on that's, and I feel as if, along with the three eye atlas, it's as if all the old pains, all your old stored up resentments and sadness and regrets seem to be manifesting in many ways for people. I know you, Rachel, had your sort of health scare a few months back. And even though this isn't life threatening, I hope it's not anyway, I've had it for about 2 weeks, and I'm quite bored of it now. So I'm wanting it to release. But I'm just, yeah, so I'm just calling out. Is anybody else going through any health things? I know you did, Corrine. But is anything coming up that's maybe old stuff? And I was told, it was a lot of old stuff, and it's trying to leave my body, and it's all accumulated in my little toe, and it's really humbling when you can't do the things you normally do. So whereas anybody else had any things to deal with emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. So this is a good place, a good to share that, because not only your sharing helps other people realise that they're not in this on their own, but we're all in this together. And so it's lovely to hear, even though obviously we don't want anyone to suffer. Is this the end of suffering? I'm asking. Is this the like a building up, like the lava in many volcanoes around the world? Is it building up, building up, building up, building up? So it's going to sort of explode in a cacophony of sound and flashings of light and lava. That's what it feels like to me. So let's just see what's going on for everybody else. What other things have I found interesting today? Oh yeah, it's actually National Community Week this week, from the 1st to the 7th. So I know some of you do a lot in the community. I feel I'd like to do more. I do, I do all my, I have been doing for 20 years, running ceremonies for all the equinoxes and the medicine wheel turning round. So I find I love doing community stuff. I love doing things in the community, but I always feel there is more to do. So I'm going to actually put down, you can actually download a pack of lots of ideas, inspirations around how you can help in the community, which I will write down when some other kind soul is speaking, and I can get on the chat, and I'll put it in there in case anybody would like to see what's on offer and how maybe we can reach out to members of the community, because a lot of people have been saying to me, the feedback is they feel quite lonely and isolated. If you've got a house full of sort of, young people or family, then it feels as if you never are alone and that there's always something going on, the hustle and bustle. But when all that's gone, and a lot of you probably had families and now they've moved on and grown up, how do you feel being on your own? Do you feel that you'd like more community connection and more gatherings together? Do you feel as if we're sort of feel like we're on our own, doing our own thing, and occasionally we come together with other people? So yes, this is National Community Week. What do you feel you'd like to offer the community, or would you like someone to reach out to you? Do you need help? Do you need connection, more connection? Do you need a gathering where you are? And maybe that's an opportunity for you to set something up. But it's just like it's an inspiration for this week. Yeah, how about anybody got a electric vehicle? How do you feel about the tax coming on that? I think it's like 3p a mile or something. 3p a mile for electric cars. So that is quite a lot, isn't it? If you think about, especially you, Rachel, you travel all over the place, don't you? So you don't have an electric car because it's probably got more sense, haven't you? So I think it's 3p a mile, and if you've got a hybrid car, it's 1.5 pence per mile. So that is quite a sting in the tail, isn't it, for all those people wanting to do the best for the environment, and all of a sudden they've been like a scorpion's tail has given them a good sting in the backside. So how do you feel about that? And yeah, what's your opinion on the other thing I was interested in the news, not in the main news, obviously, is I don't know if any of you have come across Candice Owen. She's a big sort of truth exponent. A lot of people feel that she's a shill. Like with everything, anybody who's there sharing the truth is going to get a certain amount of feedback, saying, "Oh yeah, well they're opposition that have been paid for," sort of thing. Anyway, the story is that Candice Owens is an American and very outspoken lady, so she does put her neck on the line. She's had a death threat, and there's an assassination out on her through Macron's wife, because she was exposing or was having an interview, or I don't know whether she's done one or whether she's expecting to do one, with the surgeon that did the transgender operation on Macron's wife. So Candice Owen has leaked out that, as well as many, many other things. And it turns out that, yeah, she's had, whether she knows there's going to be an attempt on her life. So that's a bit scary, isn't it? How people that are now speaking the truth tend to get bumped off. So how do you feel about that? So with all of those sort of few subjects, and maybe some of your own. Hi, Roger. Lovely to see you again. Haven't seen you for ages. Hope you're well. Are you in Thailand or some foreign flung country? And what's going on with all the floods? There's floods in Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, um, Sri Lanka. There's absolutely massive amounts. So for me, it's the earth is completely rebalancing herself. And of course, a lot of people get caught up in the floodgates, volcanoes going off. So there is a lot going on, which may be reflected in how you're feeling. Of your floodgates open, are you feeling like you're letting the tears out, or you're feeling angry? What's going on in terms of relationship with the weather that's going on around the planet at the moment? Now, some of it, as we know, may well be manipulated. And I have heard that where the floods are in Sri Lanka, they have got plans for a smart cities coming up in Sri Lanka. So it's that same old, isn't it? So I would love to hear from my ladies who have just put their hands up. Thank you very much. It's always wonderful to hear from the people speaking out. So we'll come over to Val first. Thank you, Val. And if you'd like to unmute yourself, oh, you want me to speak to Karine first? She's busy writing notes, Karine. So could we come to you and unmute yourself if possible? I'd love to hear what you have to say on any of those subjects, or in fact your own.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi there, Dan.
I'm only really put my hand up just to say hello because no one else had put their hand
Well, kind of
up.
you, thank
I'm
you.
sort of showing willing. Um, anyway, I'm sorry you're struggling, Sass, with your body, but hopefully it'll heal. And thank you for your good wishes. In fact, I have been doing pretty well, and then I've had a weekend of yet again feeling really faint and peculiar things with my heart, and investigations are going on. So I'm kind of confronting that I'm confronting my mortality, and so it's a whole big deal, really. Yeah, doing the best I can, trying to be philosophical about things. These headphones keep slipping off. Not really used to them. Um, yeah, I just think it's massive times, I know there's all this stuff going on with the solar flares and plasma and protons, and so everything is being bombarded. I listen quite a bit to Stefan Burns, who I really enjoy because he's a space weather specialist, I don't know, quantum physics, everything. Very informative, very hearty, does cosmic meditations, and so I do feel there's a lot that's going on that's not just manipulation by HARP and everything.
Right.
Um, I've no idea now what I might say. I might just end it there.
Well, I'd love to find out. Well, I mean, I did bring in how do you feel about Christmas?
Oh,
Obviously.
well, I'm sort of fairly neutral about the whole thing. We don't, we don't have family as such, so we have one or two friends over for lunch. We call them the waifs and strays, people who might be on their own. Um, so we just have a very gentle time. We don't do big presents and make a whole big hoo-ha. For solstice, though, the day before, we will go and be with Rory Duff,
Ah,
and that'll be, well, as it happens, the December one is always, you'll laugh at this if anybody lives near Trowbridge. It's in a roundabout in the middle of Trowbridge. Uh, because that's where the Sacred Node is with Michael Mary line, and it's just by the church. I think it's called Trinity Church, on a roundabout in Trowbridge, which is full of roundabouts, and it just means that where we normally go is too exposed.
right.
So it's because it's up a great big hill and very open. So anyway, that will be on the. I think the solstice is actually the 21st now, isn't it? So
Yes,
it'll be
Sunday
the
the 21st.
20th. It's always the day before, and it would be at noon, and it's usually an hour long, three 15-minute meditations. And for those of you who may or may not know Rory Duff, he nearly died a year ago, and he's been on a massive health journey. And actually, when we saw him in September at Oliver's Castle, he was struggling a bit. So we're still holding him in our hearts.
Oh,
So yes, I think for me, I mean, really, quite honestly, every day it's breath by breath and gratitude in the morning because I never know, you know, I kind of very aware of my mortality. So what can I say? Each day I'm glad to see the sun and do my meditations and my positive singing, and that's me really. So yeah, gratitude for life, and yeah, nice to be on this call and to see everyone and wishing you well. And that's me. I'm going to mute myself now. Take my hand down.
myself. Oh, okay. Well, that's lovely. Thanks. Thank you, Karine. I hope you sort your health things out. Again, as I say, it seems like it's coming to sort of crisis point. Everything's coming to a head. It's not just me. Loads of other people I know are in a similar situation, either emotionally, mentally, or physically. So, what is going on for everybody? Because it's nice to know what how you're coping with the turbulence that's out there, and obviously within as well. It's all sort of a melting pot, isn't it? So Val, are you ready to have to say something? Are you ready to bring in your opinion, your viewpoint of today? Do you want to unmute yourself? That'd be
Yeah,
great.
I think I've done it now. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
you can hear me. Yeah, good, good. Well, what with Karine and you, there's a load of subjects to address, really. But I'm sorry you're having problems with your walking. I can sympathise with that because that's an ongoing problem for me. But um, like you said, what I think is interesting is I suspect an awful lot of this stuff, particularly the physical stuff, is coming up to be healed. I think it's past life stuff, and it's
Yes.
kind of all kind of concentrating because we've got to sort it out right now. There's no more time, it's now or never sort of thing. Um, and so I think an awful lot of these illnesses and also I think they're also to do with being readjusted, shall we say. Hopefully, those of us who are maybe on the spiritual path, maybe star seeds, I think I listen to a lot of GFL, that's Galactic Federation, and they're saying, as well as elsewhere, are saying that a lot of these aches and pains are all to do with us being sort of adjusted, have our frequency adjusted, shall we say, so that we're more in a better state, shall we say, or a better frequency to meet the ET guys when they come. So yeah, and they're due to come maybe next year. So it depends, and that depends very much on our frequency, the whole planet, and the people in it. Yeah, so that so that's kind of interesting, and that's if I get a, I've had a what they call a like an optic migraine a couple of times, and
Oh,
that's been really scary. But apparently it is a migraine, and I've been hearing that a lot of people are getting headaches because of these adjustments. So
okay.
that kind of helps me to be less scared about it. Um, and if I've got various aches and pains, I try not to sort of focus on them because quite often they disappear or they reappear later. So I think they're either karmic or readjustments, and that helps me to deal with them. But talking about the energy changes, there's quite a lot of stuff going on with the Schumann resonance. I don't pretend to understand it, but I realise it's quite important. And I was listening to a German lady whose name I can't remember now on Instagram today, and she was saying she channels a lot of extraterrestrials, and she was saying that a lot of people are going to experience a Kundalini experience on the 19th of December. So
Very precise.
yeah, exactly. Watch this space. That might happen. Who knows? But December's going to be quite turbulent for a lot of people. And somebody else that I've been listening to a fair bit, who people might find interesting, a guy called Dr. David Clemens. He's actually I think he's an ex-physicist. He got various degrees and what have you, but he had a sort of an awakening, if you like, and now he communicates with I don't know whether they're angelic beings, but it's a really interesting mixture because he's got the practical sort of understanding of the physics of it all, but he also is very spiritual, and he's absolutely lovely as well. So he's somebody that people might want to look up. I don't think he's got his own website, but a lot of people have recently been interviewing him. So that's Dr. David Clemens. So he might give people some insight, and also, as I say, because of the physicist side of him, he's kind of quite practical, and he can explain things quite well. And finally, well, maybe not finally, we deliberately went out of our way to buy an old car recently. Well, I say old, it was a couple of months ago, because we'd had a Picasso and it had got a bit of electronics in it, but we started to feel like we wanted to go the other way, go retro, because I don't know, I don't particularly like. I haven't got a mobile phone. Well, I've got an old BlackBerry, and an iPad, but I don't particularly want to get more and more involved in the electronic digital side of things any more than I have to. And so we really like this. We found it's a Suzuki Jimny, and it's 20 years old. So all it's got is a CD player and a radio. It hasn't even got a clock on it, or anything telling you how many what miles per hour you're doing. So you have to kind of guess.
Tracking you.
But I quite like it, actually. There's something really lovely, and it's not. I mean, I know people who've got cars with lots of fancy gubbins in it, but I find that quite distracting, actually. When stuff comes up because somebody's trying to call you, or the GPS starts kicking in, and I find that too much. I want to go back to a gentler, quieter way of living. So
there is a lot of it's very tempting, isn't it, to go back to the good old days, as they say.
Well, I wouldn't say I want to go backwards necessarily, but also I'm thinking if things go wrong in the future, it's going to be a lot easier to repair this than it would be a car with lots of electrics in it. So, and the only other thing I would say is that, like Karine, we have a very quiet Christmas, don't have any children, and most of my family are jabbed. So, so our communications with them are always on quite a superficial level. So it tends to be just the two of us, and we have a pretty quiet time. We do go to the pub for a quick drink and have a very quiet day. One thing we have been doing recently is we have a film fest usually, and we choose a theme. So it might be all the Harry Potter films back to back, or it might be all the Star Wars films, or whatever, and we pick a theme, and then we sit there and just binge ourselves.
Yourself, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So we're all relatively quiet time, and we don't really do presents. We haven't done for many years, actually. Although occasionally I might make something. I think a homemade present is much more preferable than buying something. So, but anyway, so that's where I am with that as well. So that's me, I think, pretty much.
So you're not dreading Christmas then?
No, not particularly. I'm not getting engaging in it, really. I don't want to get dragged into the drama and the hype.
So coming to stay with you or anything?
No.
Okay, well, that's brilliant. Well, thank you, Val. We can come back to you if you suddenly feel inspired to speak about something else. Because I was going to also ask, one of the things that's really concerned me, and I haven't moved forward with it yet, I'm sort of hovering. I don't know if anybody's got any apps like Monzo, banking apps like Monzo or Revolut, and they're now asking for all your digital ID in order to stop any fraudulent activity on your account. But they're quite happy to have them. They were quite happy to have me for 2 years, and now. So is this the digital ID by stealth through the back door? Mm-hmm. So I'd love to hear from anybody if they've got any of these banking apps that are mainly they're online, and whether they are struggling with whether to answer their questions and to do all the videos they want you to do, biometrics, video, facial recognition, and voice recording as well. So has anybody else had that? Because it's a little bit concerning, because obviously it's useful having these different banking potentials, but it's also, are we going to go down that route? Is it going to drag us into this digital ID? So perhaps you'd like to say something, Roger, if you'd like to unmute and come to the surface, we'll come to you in a minute, David. Okay.
Can you hear me, Seth?
Yes, I can hear you, Roger. Yeah.
Well, thank you for hosting.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I've got a Monzo bank account, and I've just recently had a problem which I've never had before, and that's I sent money to my son, but he didn't receive it. Now, is this some kind of ploy whereby they'll get me to, show my face on a video or something in order to resolve this problem? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to be progressing with that. Something a bit more important here. Regarding our supposed king. So I'm reading this. I've got the text in front of me. Now, Queen Elizabeth II was of the lineage of Queen Victoria, who was a member of the House of Hanover. Her name, after she married Prince Albert, her name became Victoria Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. Now, let's look at the other half of the DNA. The late Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, was born in Greece, and through his lineage was a member of the Danish-German House of, this is quite a mouthful, Schleswig, Holstein, Sonderburg, Glücksburg.
Mouthful.
Now, doesn't that make King Charles III 100% foreign, and therefore, according to the Bill of Rights, 1688-89, ineligible to be King of England?
Oh.
That's the question I'm asking. Anyway, I've written this, I've already posted this information on Telegram, so you can look at that. What's this one? Or somebody just posted something. It's gone now. Anyway, that was all I wanted to say, really. I have nothing else of importance to add. But what amazes me, really, there's an organisation, what's it called now? Called, can't remember. But anyway, they're anti the monarchy. But why is it they've not put this information? Why have they not publicised this information? I think that's very strange. Why, is it only me who's found this out? I'm sure many people know this.
Maybe you are the only one, Roger. What's interesting is if you look on the £20 notes and the notes that the King Charles is on, he's not wearing a crown. He's not a crowned king. It was all a bit of an illusion, because if you look at his Elizabeth II and look at her, the notes, the promissory notes, which we call pound notes, are actually, she's got a crown on, but King Charles has not got one on the pound notes. So it's as if he hasn't actually been crowned. He's not actually the king. So that would probably make sense from what you're saying, Roger.
Well, that's interesting.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd not noticed that.
No, well, I know. Has anybody got a £20 note to hand?
Well, probably because I've never seen a £20 note.
I've only got a tenner, and it's got the Queen with her crown on. But if anybody's got a current note with King Charles, he's not wearing a crown. So maybe that's it. Obviously, they come from the House of Hanover. They're German, aren't they? But it didn't go down very well because we've been at war with Germany. So they changed their name to Windsor. It sounded more British.
Yeah, well, they did that. That was George V who did that in 1917. Because at the same time, I mean, it's ironical, isn't it? At the same time in the First World War, that we're fighting the Germans, to retain our sovereignty,
No.
we've got a German sitting on the throne.
It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, does it?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
There's a lot of doesn't make sense, though, isn't there? Because it's all, it's fraudulent. I mean, we weren't supposed to, nothing is supposed to have made sense, and nothing is supposed to be lawful since we joined the common market. Edward Heath
That's
got us to
right.
join the common market because it was actually, he was selling our sovereignty as a sovereign nation, which is treason.
Yeah.
It was treasonous. So anything from then on in is all fraudulent.
Well,
So
yeah, but I would posit that we lost our sovereignty a long time before that when Victoria plonked her bum on the throne.
uh, it's all
So,
going to be coming out in the wash, I think. It's all moving to the surface. All the truth is bubbling, and the pieces of the jigsaw are going to be put together, and then the game will be completely up.
well, I think we're not far off that.
So you're putting some of the pieces of the jigsaw together, Roger. So thank you for your due diligence.
Well, why is this important about Victoria? Because, in my opinion, all legislation since 1837, which is when Victoria started reigning, is all legislation is void because it needs a proper monarch's signature to put the legislation onto the statute books. And we haven't had a proper monarch since 1837.
Maybe you could write to King Charles and let him know this. Maybe he's not, he's just ignoring it, or maybe they don't know the true history themselves. Maybe they've been told a little, fairy stories when they're growing up.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you could be right, of course.
I mean, I've noticed that there's been a lot less activity with the royal family. There's not nearly as much information or, snippets of them on the news and things. They seem to have died down quite a lot. It's like they're playing low profile, it seems. So I don't know what's going on there, but there seems to be a lot of scurrying around behind the scenes.
Well, the so-called King Charles III was convicted of murder in the common law court organised by Kevin Arnett. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they're lying low.
Oh. There's been a lot of things going on. There was some member of the royal family's husband was found dead or something, which apparently really disturbed Prince William. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes that is obviously causing a lot of disruption. But that's all part of the breakdown, I think, of the illusory crown. I think when I was growing up, I always felt that I always believed, now whether it was my misinterpretation or whether the information wasn't out there, that the royal family were the head of the Church of England, and they were our sovereign beings, and we were their subjects and their citizens, and that they were the main people. But in fact, it's not. It's they're the royal family are just minions to the crown. So it's the crown and the establishment that is actually runs everything. And let's just say the royal family are the sort of main role characters in the soap opera that is England. That is the UK, should I say, because United Kingdom is one big corporation. It's not a country.
Of course it is.
It's a corporation. It's about, for everybody, for me at the moment, I'm looking to bring myself back onto the land of the soil, and out of Admiralty law, because that is the land law of the sea, in which we don't operate on the sea, do we? So it's more and more people are becoming aware of this whole fraudulent situation, and so there's a lot of scurrying around in the background because obviously things are beginning to collapse as people know the truth. So That's lovely. I better let, there's other people waiting to speak, Roger. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that? Or obviously you can come back in if you've got
Well,
anything
just to comment, really, and as a kind of an extension of what you just said there. The United Kingdom is a corporation. It doesn't have any land at all. It's just a legal fiction, like nearly all of the other government agencies are the same. Okay, I've said my piece, so you can move on to somebody else.
Piece to piece. Thank you, Roger. Lovely to see you. Where are you actually residing right now?
I'm in York in my little cell.
In your cell?
Which they refer to as a flat. But anyway, that's where I am.
Oh, well, okay. So you're back on England, on the soil, the land and the soil.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay.
And by the way,
input, Roger.
And by the way, I speak to my wife every day in Thailand.
Oh.
And there are no floods in Thailand, according to her.
Oh.
She hasn't mentioned a flood at all.
Well, it's all over everywhere, and people are telling me. So anyway, maybe that's just another little to stop people going to Thailand. Deflecting to the east.
I don't know. Okay.
So you want to escaping the shit show over here. Okay, lovely. Thanks, Roger. Going to come over to David here. David, hi, David. Do you want to unmute yourself and come into the fray? Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. We can hear
you. Hello. Can you see me or not? Or
I can see a lovely cozy house or a lovely cozy sitting room. Is that your? Is that?
No, I need to turn the camera around, but I don't know how to do it.
Are you on a phone?
Yeah.
Well, if you hold it up, there's normally a thing that twirls around. There's like a sort of. I don't even really.
Yeah, I know what that is, but I can't see it on here. But anyway.
Well, why don't you go on, come back on again with it the right way up?
Try it. So stop video. Start video. No, I don't know. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to do it. So if I go that way, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you now. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I've just turned the phone round, basically. So I do apologise. I'm working at the moment, but I just thought I'd jump on. What inspired me to jump on was someone previously talking about gratitude, which I'll just touch on in a minute. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear and see you.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say is just to recommend to people, if there's a film that's out and it's on Odyssey and you can't really get it on YouTube now, but it's called Europa, The Last Battle. Now, I don't know whether anyone's actually seen this, but it's absolutely amazing, and it will change your life when you watch this video. And it's all about an alternative vision of our history, because we know we've been lied to about more or less everything. And this is just a really great insight into the history of the wars, the bloodlines. It's amazing. So I just, I don't have a link to share with anyone on here, but if you go onto Odyssey, if people can get Odyssey, it's called Europa, The Last Battle.
Oh.
It's amazing. It just changed things so much for me. And I'm not going to say in a delightful way. It's another level of, to use a cliche, of awakening to our true history. There may be things in there that people don't agree with, but just as a little heads up on it, it is quite horrific, some of it, and it's quite disturbing. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that. But on a different note, just personally, obviously, I'm navigating the clown world, and I feel that the planet is a farm at the moment. And we're all batteries for the loosh that the powers that are so desperately keep needing, and it's thrown at us moment by moment, minute by minute, day by day. And we've got all the circus of the politicians, and my personal way of sort of keeping buoyant in all this, obviously I've got like a spiritual practice, but what I wanted to share was what the lady said before, which really struck a note with me, because it's something I really felt the other day. I was doing I practice Lotus Sutra Buddhism, and I was doing my chanting the other day, and a lot of the time I'm doing my chanting, and I'm sort of like just doing it to like elevate my life condition so I can subsume all the crap that is going on and to stay bright, you know.
Yeah.
But then I was meditating the other day, and I just really thought, you know, I felt so grateful to have a spiritual practice of like something I can actually do. And I know that's probably different for everyone, and everyone's got their own things that they do, which is fantastic. But on a personal level, I just felt so much gratitude that I could, through my spiritual practice, key into what I feel is like our true sovereignty, you know. And I felt so much gratitude for that, and that keys into like nature as well, and like this real feeling of like when I key into nature and have gratitude for nature, and the gratitude for my life, gratitude for my friends, and just try to. I think gratitude is it's like the thing that dissolves everything. It's sort of if we can key into it. I'm not saying to spiritually bypass, by the way. You know, we've got to keep our eye on the ball, but I just think if we can key into the sense of gratitude and our own sovereignty, it's like they can't touch that. Whatever they're throwing at us, I sort of feel they can't touch it. So I just wanted to share that really. And I don't know whether that resonates with anyone, but I just thought I'd like to share it.
Absolutely.
That's about
Yeah.
it, really.
I mean, obviously, gratitude is such an absolute vital component for shifting your life and shifting your world. What really came to me the other day, David, was thinking about all the algorithms and what shows up in your social media feed is actually a reflection, a mimicry of how we interact with the quantum field. And so what shows up on your algorithms on your social media is actually what's been projected by you into the field, the quantum field, and that's
Yeah.
been reflected back. So it's just whatever's going on with the social media platforms, they just mimic what's really happening in the wider picture on the quantum field. So it's a good gauge to see what you're getting in your feed.
Well, I mean, well, that's a whole other universe, isn't it? I mean, there's,
Yeah.
you know, there's lots of things that obviously I think you're right, you know, and there's a lot of truth in that because you do get, you know, you start getting things in your feed that you know, you're either researching about or things that you're concerned about, and the algorithms and all of that. Yeah, and for me, it's like not getting bogged down in it all as well. It's like to just bring everything back to your own sovereign energy and your sovereign. I don't like the word status, but you know your connection to your own eternal um, life. You know, which is like the undefiled aspect of life that whatever is going on in the world you can I feel you can subsume that by tapping into it, and you know people do it lots of different ways. I'm absolutely certain by my belief in whatever or you know whoever, but fundamentally it's about ourselves and yeah, and not to externalize either really. It's like bringing everything back to us, and we have unlimited potential, and our lives go way beyond 4D, you know. Yeah, so yeah, I'm rambling on a bit, but I just thought I'd jump
No,
on
no.
and just share a few of my thoughts, you know.
I think, yeah, we've been guided to look at what we focus our attention on and the thoughts that we're having because they're magnetized, they're magnets. Your thoughts and your
Yeah,
feelings are electromagnetic. So whatever we're feeling and thinking is being reflected back to us all the time. So it's quite handy just looking at what's showing up in your feed to go, okay, is that what I'm focusing my attention on? That can help guide me as to maybe what I need to position what I'm looking at and thinking about, because it's obviously going to show up in my life story. So that's quite a handy thing to know, isn't it? Because then it gives us more power rather than just we're like a leaf being flown around
yeah,
by the wind. We're actually focusing our attention on what it is we're wanting to bring into our lives. So gratitude is obviously a fantastic essence to focus our attention on, because otherwise you're looking at all the lack in your life rather than all the wonderful things that happen. And obviously, as you were saying, it's like this week is about community. What can we feed back into our community that's positive, maybe, rather than maybe focusing on all the downside and all the bad things that are going on with the council and what they're not doing? It's like, okay, what is the things, and helping people to focus more, bring their attention more on the positive, so we can uplift ourselves in an area. It's like my two friends who work for TECA, which is the English County Assemblies. They've just bought Derbyshire back onto the land. It's been brought back onto the land and brought back into the as under the control, if you like, or the guidance, more like, of the sovereign county. And there's a few now, and Devon's another one. And slowly, if anybody wants to get involved in becoming part of this movement, where we can bring back our counties into session, bring them back onto the land, then
sounds wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good, and it means that you, as a community, you can be trial by jury, have our own law courts, because obviously, as you can see, the justice system has been dismantled, so it just is an unjust system, and it's nothing to do with democracy or to do with the people having the power, and you as an individual being able to go to court and know that you've got 12 people who are completely unconnected to you and that don't have any sort of preconceived ideas of you or what you're saying or thinking or how you're behaving, and they just go on the evidence of what's presented, and that is looking to be taken away by Keir Starmer. But TECA are reconfirming that that's what we're going to be doing in all the counties, is setting up new law courts. So there are some really positive things going on out there, and not to be bogged down too much by all the draconian methods that seem to want to drag us into some kind of another level of the illusory reality. So we're just being piled up, level and buried under the illusion. That's the idea.
I think what you talked about community. I mean, I know that's another big word, but just very briefly, for me, community is the person in front of me or the people in front of me, and how I embrace other people, what's in my heart towards them. And, for me, that is what community is about. And to sort of have the desire in me for the other person's happiness or connection, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like it's the person in front of you. For me, that is what community is about. And anyway, I'm going to go now. But remember, every time we smile, a reptile goes hungry. I'm sure you've heard that before.
Yes, I love that. Yeah, great. Thank you for the reminder, David. We want a lot of starving lizards. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, let's starve them all out.
Absolutely, yeah. So they just have to go away and find some other source of food in an isolated place.
I think because we're all raising our frequency, to use a cliche, I think it's going to end up where they just can't align. Anyway, I'm going to go now. Let someone else speak. But thank you for letting me speak. Yeah, I'll try.
Thanks, David. Thanks for coming on. Lovely to hear from you. We're going to move on to. Thank you. Don't forget to mute yourself. And now we're going to move on to Althea, who may have been stimulated by my tales of woe and suffering with my little toe. Believe me, Althea, I have been looking, really focusing, as I haven't been able to do much else, as to what is the message from the pain. But it just keeps on coming back. You're clearing lifetimes of all those feelings I said at the beginning. So perhaps you'd like to share what's been stimulated within you, Althea, that wants to share with
thank you. Thank you, Sass. And just saying that Sass and I met up in the Stand in the Light event, which is a brilliant, very windy, very rainy event. It was absolutely brilliant. That's right where we met. And so I wanted to say, because you were talking about Christmas earlier, and I'll say something about your toe if you want as well. But Christmas, I am a pain-free specialist. So I show you how to stop pain by connecting with it. And I have a little video that I can pop in here afterwards. How to be pain-free at Christmas, and 4 little tips to be pain-free at Christmas. So I'll pop that in afterwards. But yeah, I just just came back yesterday from another brilliant event. It's so nice to come into this group, to go to meet up with like-minded. It's just, I find it really energizing and empowering. And of course, you can speak your truth in places like this, which I think is just really empowering. I was up at the Beige Cafe in Milton Keynes, and there was an event being run. If anybody knows that, it's John O'Looney's neck of the woods, and it's a brilliant setup. Lots of, I don't know, what do we call ourselves these days? Truthers or realitors, or I don't know. Wanting a positive world, people, whatever we call ourselves. And so the guy who runs the cafe is all on board with it all and grows veg there, and it's lovely. But we had an event run by Maria and Gary. Fantastic, vibed up freedom fighters. That's the one. That sounds good. It was amazing. We had Rob de Kirk and David Edelman, and I gave a talk there. It was fantastic. So talking about getting connected and being pain-free at Christmas, what to do. I've been an aptotherapist all my life, and I created this method where you connect to thing you don't want. So negativity, pain, fed up with the system, whatever thing you don't want. How do you nip sore toes in the bud? How do you stop that? And I had a guy in the audience, which I've changed my talks to be intervention talks, where I say, who's got a pain thing. I show you how to get started. I mean, obviously that's just the beginning stages, but a guy stuck his finger up like that, and he had like that. And he had a big, terrible bash on his tip of his finger. It was near to broken, and it was crushed, and it was terrible pain he had. And it was that finger, and I was like, that's interesting. You got that finger crushed, and this is the event, freedom fighting event we're doing. But yeah, I talked him through it, and within, I don't know, 5 minutes or something, then the pain started to go, and he could touch it. I did a little testimonial video with him afterwards to ask him how he felt and all that. But if you are suffering with governmentitis or toes things or any kind of physical conditions, well, the main thing is keep your mind out of it. Connect to the actual thing you don't want. So I'll put the link in. But Sass, you got your toes. So we often overthink it.
Yeah, it's about 12. It's been for 13 days now of complete agony. So I was thinking I need to. I'd go into the pain like you told me.
Hang on. Back up. And you're doing something really natural that most people do, that I think you've got to do this or that, and you've got to go into that. There's no going into. It is really painful. It is agony. It is what it is. It's already a culmination from what created it to the point of its agony for 13 days. That's what it is. So that's what we connect to. And that's what I teach. But where's agony in you, Sass? Stop me if you want to stop, but where's agony in you?
Well, all I can feel it is in my toe right now. I don't feel it anywhere else. I don't feel any emotional or mental pain. I'm not aware.
That's not it. If you do, then that will come. You don't have to look for it. So connect to that little toe. And how does that little toe feel? Which toe is it on? Foot is it on anyway?
On the right.
Right. So that's the right toe is all about the masculine. Male and masculine, and little toes are communication with the world. The outer body parts are the piece between you and outside, and the little toe particularly, it's the outer, it's Mercury, like on the little finger. It's Mercury. It's communication, like in astrology. It's communication with the outside world. Does anything resonate for you with that, with agony and communication? And how does your little toe feel right now?
Throbbing.
Where's throbbing in you? What's throbbing in your life?
Okay, I have to ask those. Obviously, I'm sure I think it may be useful actually, because I think a lot of people suffer with pain, don't they? So that's why I sort of because it's not obviously just me, but there seems to be a lot of pain coming up in society. and people around me that are really suffering. So I don't know whether I joined in the throng. I thought, well, I'm actually not suffering, so maybe I need to create some. I don't know, but it's you obviously want to try and get rid of it, don't you? But rather than integrate it. But I am looking at it, what is going on, that it's so inflamed for so long.
The what is the right question. The trying to figure it out means you're going away from the what is. You're going away from alignment, and what is it? It's you've got to keep your mind out of this. And it's Catherine, one of my clients, she said, you've got to feel your way into it, not think your way out of it. So how does that throbbing crowd of what you just mentioned, how does it feel to you? And I'm going along with Sass here, but it's really you copy and paste the same method for anything you don't want, pain or otherwise. And Sass, how does that throbbing crowd of what you just said feel to you? What's it doing to you? What
Okay, severely limiting me.
Yeah, so where's that feeling? Where's that awareness, the severely limiting you? Where do you feel that in you?
I don't really know.
Hang on. Don't really know is a really good answer. Sorry, battery's going. Don't really know is a really good answer. That means go straight to the helping part, which begins with softening and breathing. So bring your body into a softening breathing state. And instead of all that throbbing agony state, what do you want?
To be free to walk unencumbered.
Fabulous. And what's it going to be like when you're like that? Where's free in you? What's it like when you're being like that? Where's unencumbered in you?
No limitations of the mind, of the I can't do it, or it's not possible, or I'm restricted. Those mind sets that have been, I would imagine, probably programmed through all my life.
You're going up into the mind again, and mind doesn't heal. So the imagine, I think it's this, and I think it's that, is really normal, but doesn't help. It's the wrong tool for the wrong job. So what's it going to be? Where's unencumbered in you? What's it going to feel like being unencumbered? Where do you feel unencumbered in you?
I'm in my heart. I feel expanded in my heart.
Fabulous. Where's expanded? How does your heart feel?
It's connecting to a wider field. It's not limited to just my body. It's a much more encompassing field of energy, that it doesn't have the limits of my little self.
Amazing. So this is what I call a helper. You can connect to that, doesn't have a limit, and connect to your heart as a helper. So when you feel, how's your little toe right now anyway?
Shrinking into itself.
Is that shrinking good or not shrinking good? Shrinking into itself sounds like.
I don't think it's heard what I've said. Let's put it that way.
More connected needed, and if it doesn't shift straight away, it means there's a lot of story in there. There's a lot of there's more connection needed. So what I've done there is taken you through 4 little actions that begin the healing process, and you see how it's led you to stories and feelings and awarenesses and people and the world and everything. So it's not just your little toe, because we're not just bodies, are we? We're also your thoughts and your feelings and your beliefs and everything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So it's about connecting to all parts, and it will go. I mean, that guy in the crowd, he had a nasty bash and really squashed finger, and it's not easy, when we are very triggered and very perhaps in the mind, or we are in that state. But it's all about coming back to you. And that man, I didn't catch your name. That man who spoke a bit earlier about we're all connected, and it's awareness of our state. And you were talking a bit like that, wasn't it? That's what it's about. It's about reconnecting to you. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. I feel that there's a lot to be said into that, and I would say to put your link down in the chat,
I put
Alfie.
the Christmas one, which is free, and then I run a taster session. I just want to say, be patient with yourself. Keep doing these 4 little actions, and I teach these 4 little actions on this taster session coming up on the 17th. Get the Christmas thing, get your pain-free started. And if things don't, pain release is immediate, and if it doesn't go immediately, hi Rachel. If it doesn't go immediately, it means there's more story in there, so we're more connected. And Sass, you went up in the mind a lot, so come back into the body is the main tip I'd say going forward from here.
Yes, obviously, when there's pain in the body, you want to move out the body, don't you? That's my natural reaction, is to move out of the body and try and work it out in your mind.
No,
I know. As I'm saying, so it's a good reminder, because obviously I do work with lots of people around the programs of the mind, and of course, when you're teaching anything, it obviously shows up in your own life, because you're teaching what you need to know yourself.
All reflective, always two-way.
Yeah, so thank you for that, darling. I'm going to just so just put your information down. That's very, very helpful, and hopefully that may be some help for others as well who may be going through physical pain, especially. Obviously, sometimes emotional and mental pain you can ride over, but when it's physical pain, it's very difficult to ignore. So obviously I've been drawn to sit and contemplate and not run away from anything, to move around, because movement is one of my big things. If you're not moving, you're static, and your energy is not moving. So that's what is the frustration for me at the moment. But it's wonderful to hear for your insight there, Althea. So thank you very much. Is anybody who'd like to say the last words before we go? Rachel, have you got anything you'd like to say? Are you quite happy to? Do you want to have the last word, because you normally have something you'd like to say, so we don't want to leave you out.
Oh, thanks, Sass. Yeah, I have been listening throughout, even though I've gone blank because I was in the kitchen double tasking, so I have been attentive. There's lots I could say, but I'm conscious of time, so maybe I'll report in the next one in 15th of December, I guess, while I'm hosting.
Yeah. The 15th, and then I think the next one after that will be the 20. I've got it written down here. I was very organised and wrote it down. Now I can't see it. But anyway, the next one is the 15th, and then it'll be 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Thanks for hosting, Sass.
Oh, you're welcome. You're very, very welcome. It's been an interesting sort of shares, and quite a variety of different shares. And Val, why are you pointing in that direction? Ask to unmute. No, I don't know what you're saying. Do you want to mute yourself, and then you can just...
Sorry, it was just to say Caroline's had her hand up for quite a long time.
Caroline, I'm so sorry. Do you know what it is? It's because I've got it on a different view, so I can't see. But Caroline,
okay.
Let me just say let me try and have a look and see if I can see you. Caroline, do you want to come just say unmute and just say what you have to say before we go? Obviously, if you need to go, you can go. But
I think I have unmuted now.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, all I was really saying, and I can see it's happened now, is I was very interested in what Althea was saying, because I'm having some physical pain and have done for a long, long, long time, and nothing I've tried. I'm not going to go into it. I know there's not time. All I was going to say is nothing I've tried, whatever it is, has worked. So I was interested in Althea's approach, and I just wanted to put the link so that maybe I can contact her privately.
I think she has put it in the chat, which you will get. She has. If you're signed up for this, you'll get it when Rachel sends out the recording.
Right. Okay.
So the chat will come up. Are you signed up for this? Right.
I'm not following what you mean. I'm sorry.
I'll put it in the notes to the video so that it's
great, Rachel.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much. Lovely.
Yes, you'll get that. Okay, lovely. Well, thanks everyone for your sharings. It's been lovely to connect with everybody. And yes, slightly different one this time, but I thought sometimes when you see me as a host, I'm always, everything's brilliant and wonderful, and most of the time it is. But when it isn't, I like to share the authentic situation that I'm in, because hopefully we can connect with others that may also be going through the same thing. So thank you very, very much. And we look forward to seeing you again on the 15th as we move closer and closer towards Yuletide. And obviously the winter solstice, I'll be doing a ceremony as I usually do for the winter solstice. Hopefully I'll be back in fine fettle and I'll be able to stride forward with a pain-free method. So lots of love, everybody. If you'd like to all, I'm just going to put you on gallery view and then we can all wave. Oh no, it's going on a random and its own little, oh, there we go. There we go. If everyone would like to wave, and I'd say thank you so much for joining us. Lovely to see you all tomorrow, and take care in the meantime, and happy experiences for the next couple of weeks, and look after yourselves. So lots of love. Take care.